College is often a formative and transformative time for most people. My alma mater, Brigham Young University, is a very special place to me. Most people go to college as a means to an end, a way to find a job that they need. I came to BYU without any career aspirations, but with three other major specific aims. I chose to go against my parents' wishes of staying close to home in Seattle in order to accomplish these three things at BYU. First, to acculturate myself to a new religion. Second, to find a husband. And third, to receive excellent dance training at their world-renowned ballroom dance company. It took much longer than a typical 4-year degree to accomplish all of this, but 12 years later, I got what I came for: religion, dance, and marriage, as well as a career. I was introduced to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in high school by some friends, and chose to get baptized on my 18th birthday, about 1 week before I came to BYU. I noticed that members of the church had a very specific culture, and it was centered on family, service, and personal moral character. Since I was new to this church, I wanted to be immersed in it and learn as much as I could. They generally seemed like very happy people and were at peace with themselves on a genuine, deep level. BYU is governed by and sponsored by the church, and over 95% of its students, faculty, and staff are members of the church. Admittance and employment is based on our individual commitment to living the honor code, which is based on the church's standards of modesty, integrity, honesty, and purity. It's what creates the very unique and safe environment that allows members of the church to live their religion unrestrained and interwoven with an excellent academic education. Spiritually, I thrived at BYU. I learned more about church culture, church history, and policies through socializing with friends and the 14 credits of required religion classes. I joyfully adhered to the honor code. I met members of the church from all over the world and all over the country. By the time I graduated, I had internalized the aims of the BYU education and the honor code as an integral part of my life. The aims are based on the gospel of Jesus Christ and the doctrines of the church, and they've generally guided my life ever since I started at BYU. Around the time that I discovered the church, I discovered ballroom dancing as well through the local youth organization that performed at my high school. Incidentally, it was founded, staffed, and attended by mostly members of the church. The instructors were all trained at BYU and were alumni of their prestigious ballroom dance company. Their moral character and welcoming personalities made it a comfortable environment for me to learn this new, beautiful art form. I discovered that I took to it pretty naturally, and I wanted to go to the source of their artistic training. No other college has a bigger or better ballroom dance program, so why would I go anywhere else? I jumped into ballroom classes my first semester, but I didn't get into one of the teams until my third semester. Nevertheless, I lived and breathed ballroom my entire time at BYU. I declared a ballroom minor, took twice as many classes as required for the minor, performed on team, competed in dance sport, volunteered as a teaching assistant for classes in dance camp, and went social dancing on the side. It pretty much took up all my free time outside of school. Team included performing in the annual concert, at local church events, and in the homecoming parade. It was exhilarating and exhausting. I have slight regrets about not making it onto the top touring team, but I can say that I did my best and I got the most I could out of the program at BYU. In addition to religion and dance, I also came to BYU to get married. Marriage and family is a central part of the church's doctrine and culture, and I really wanted to have that for myself. Church doctrine states that marriage is meant to last for eternity, not just till death do us part, so it's a really big deal. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. I witnessed many happy and healthy families in the church, not perfect, but much better than I had seen elsewhere, and I wanted my own. I knew I wanted to find a faithful member of the church to marry. And where else would my odds be higher than at a university founded by the church in a state full of Mormons? I'd heard of the prolific weddings of BYU students. It wasn't rare for individuals to find their eternal mates within their first year of college. Since my first day on campus, I made dating a top priority. I didn't go on as many dates as other girls I knew, but I had several boyfriends throughout my 5.5 years as a student. None of them turned into husbands, though. It wasn't until 7 years after I graduated that I re-met my husband on campus. We first met on the dance team, 7 years earlier, but had never really talked or interacted. John lived in Texas and was in Utah for just 1 week of continuing education classes. And what followed was a miraculous long-distance courtship and engagement that led to our wedding 9 months later. Today, I am a full-time employee at BYU, the university that has given me so much. Besides religious acculturation, dance training, and my husband, BYU is also where I discovered my love for teaching and counseling college students. Now I work in career services, helping them figure out what to do with the rest of their lives. I'm grateful for everything God has blessed me with through BYU.